Emotional intelligence and natural psychology. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand and manage one's emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It is an essential component of effective communication and positive relationships. There is evidence to suggest that emotional intelligence is linked to natural psychology, which in turn is related to decision-making and the ability to forecast the consequences of one's actions. Those who are less inclined to think naturally about the broader consequences of their actions may exhibit different emotional intelligence than those who are inclined towards being better able to envision such consequences. Hence, they may practice this differently. Individuals who have better developed natural psychology preferring long-term benefit tend to be more aware of the long-term consequences of their actions, and thus are better equipped to regulate their emotions in a way that promotes positive outcomes. Impulsive outbursts, anger, violence are examples of behavior where the longer-term consequences of one's actions are less thought of, as such behavior may only cause short-term gain but in the long run does more damage. This is unfortunately why biases against Black and South Asian people exist in the world today, because such people supposedly exhibit lower levels of emotional intelligence as observed by people of other races. Unfortunately, it is due to the nature of such peoples. This can help explain the rampant crime, domestic violence, terrorism and other such issues that are more prevalent in warm climate and mostly wheat-growing third-world countries. The root cause here is nature. However, we must accept that such elements can be countered with compensated government so that this aspect of nature can be overcome with policing, enforcement and nurture. In the context of third-world countries, where issues such as corruption, poor infrastructure, and limited access to education can create significant stress and adversity, the development of emotional intelligence is particularly important. Without the ability to regulate emotions and make effective decisions, individuals may struggle to overcome the challenges they face on a daily basis, perpetuating cycles of poverty and hardship. This can also lead to poorer social health, inter-family relationships, domestic abuse and other issues. Recognizing the link between natural psychology, emotional intelligence, and decision-making is key to developing effective strategies for promoting well-being and resilience in third-world countries. By prioritizing education, promoting emotional intelligence, and providing individuals with the tools they need to manage stress and adversity, it may be possible to help individuals overcome the psychological and emotional barriers that prevent them from achieving their full potential. In South Asian society, the culture tends to be quite limiting when it comes to personal freedom and creativity. Many people in this culture grow up in an environment where their parents or elders make most of the decisions for them, and there is not much room for self-expression or exploration. This can contribute to poor emotional intelligence, and such behavior is then passed on to the next generation, as people are not given the opportunity to develop their own decision-making abilities. The root cause of such behavior might be the native population's lack of ability to properly envision the outcomes of giving more freedoms to people. The fear of being unable to envision the broader outcomes of the freedoms of the youth may cause the older generation to restrict their freedoms, thus resulting in even more damage to the social and economic health of society as the population does not maximize its potential. Moreover, the emphasis on conformity and respect for authority can lead to a lack of critical thinking skills and a limited ability to foresee the negative consequences of one's actions. This can result in a society where people are more likely to engage in harmful behavior towards others without realizing the impact it has. For example, the rigid adherence to hierarchical structures in South Asian companies can lead to a culture of fear and a lack of empathy towards lower-level employees. This can result in poor working conditions, harsh treatment, and low job satisfaction, which can all contribute to a negative work environment. Furthermore, the limited focus on emotional intelligence in South Asian and African culture can lead to difficulties in personal relationships. The inability to recognize and manage one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others, can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Therefore, it is important to encourage the development of emotional intelligence and critical thinking skills in South Asian, African and similar warm-climate third-world societies, as this can help to foster a culture of empathy, respect, and cooperation, resulting in a more harmonious and prosperous society.